This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what we're talking about today is why Black women do not even like Black women, and this is going to be a couple of parts. I'm going to dissect this, but for one, this first part, I'm going to dissect it from a little bit different angle than what I usually do, because the reason why I found something and I wanted to read it to everyone. And the reason that I wanted to read it to everyone is because oftentimes the bad behavior of women is explained away through blaming men for all of women's ills. Whatever she's doing, whatever bad behavior she is engaging in, especially when it comes to relationships, pretty much is the man's fault. So I have this letter that I'm going to read. It was an Instagram post, and it was a post by an L-word young lady. I'm not going to show the post. I usually share the screen, but I didn't want to show the names of the person who posted it. So I'm just going to read out this post. So let me go ahead and read this out. She says, I've been an out and proud L-word since I was 16. I've had some wonderful experiences and relationships with women, but now that I'm 29, I'm officially throwing in the towel. I am actively going to stop searching for dates on dating apps and in general. I'm so tired of all of it. I get that this happens in straight relationships too, but I'm so tired of being ghosted when things are seemingly going well. I'm so tired of being used. I'm so tired of having someone else's insecurities projected onto me. I'm so tired of being cheated on. I'm so tired of being put back on the back burner only to be replaced by someone more convenient. I'm so tired of the sudden emotional outbursts I've experienced from the women I've dated. I'm so tired of them being flighty and going radio silent for days for no reason when otherwise things were going well. I'm so tired of the intense emotional immaturity and emotional instability. I'm so tired of the hot and cold behavior. I'm so tired at how many are so quick to be physically violent if they don't get their way. Even the ones who seemingly have their stuff together end up being openly cruel and spiteful at the drop of a hat. Even the ones I seem to vibe with super well end up buying into playing mind games and testing me to get a reaction out of me by giving me the silent treatment unprovoked or challenging everything I say to spur an emotional response. None of my straight friends around me have experienced any of the horror stories from their boyfriends like I've experienced with my partners. I've seen it all, from intense and violent outbursts where I've been blamed for not looking after her anxiety like it's somehow my job to look after someone's mental health, to setting up a life with one of my partners, immigrating thousands of miles to be with her, only for her to admit the entire time she's been with someone else without telling me. I'm not saying all L words are like this by a long shot, but boy, am I tired. I'm sorry, but I'm done trying to balance my own life, mental well-being, and day-to-day routine while trying to jump through hoops to not trigger them. So it kind of cut off. Apparently there was more, but I didn't get more. So this is the thing. This is a woman talking about her romantic experiences with other women. And everything she listed echoes all of the issues that the men complain about, but that the men are also blamed for. Okay? All of the blame is put on men for not being good leaders, for not being good providers, for not being good men, or even for not even being good human beings. It's the fault of the patriarchy. It's the fault of toxic masculinity. And the very core of maleness is the problem. That's the issue that is undergirding these women's bad behavior. That's the issue. The men, it's always the men. Every time we talk about what women are doing, the toxic femininity, the toxic behavior of women in these relationships, it always circle back. Well, she must have been doing it because of the man. What did he do, or what did he not do? We're not submitting because the men aren't good leaders. We aren't submitting because these are broke dusties. We aren't submitting because these men fill in the blank, fill in the blank, fill in the blank. Let's pretend for a second that all of them narratives are correct. What's with your bad behavior in relationships where there are no men? Riddle me that, Batman. What happens when you're still toxic in relationships with other women? If the men were the problem, then these relationships between two women should be heaven on earth. Correct? Because this is a relationship minus the problematic men and the problematic masculinity that they hold. And their, will to rule everything. They're trying to control everything, trying to conquer everything, right? So a relationship between two Black women should be blissful. Because you don't do no wrong, let you tell it, and everything that you do has a solid reason behind it, so it ends up you right when you was wrong. You right when you was wrong. So if that's the case, why are the other women, you've turned to other women? Because the men are so problematic. So why are you still having problems? And why are they the same problems that the men complain about? It's not even a different set of problems. It's the same problem. And this lady here, she's a woman. So she don't even have the tools that it takes to mitigate another woman's trouble and threat, because that takes leadership. That takes the 4 Ps. That takes system, order, and structure. And men have that naturally. Women do not. So those relationships are extra chaotic, because when either one of you, if you feel on par or better than a man, you're definitely not feeling subordinate to another woman. So y'all are having trouble with y'all. You're openly violent. You're violent. And when Black men say, no, actually we're the ones getting beat on, actually we're the ones getting attacked more than we're attacking them, we the ones get attacked. Well, the numbers, and it's like, stop playing that game. Stop with the gaslighting. You know that the number of men who are going to report that their spouse or girlfriend is actually abusing them physically or battering them or attack them is going to be low, because of how we see men in a society. He's going to be deemed weak, knowing full well that in this society, because of how gynocentric it is, he is unable to exert his will the way he really would, because there's the institution. There's Zaddy to be called. You can call the Romans on him and get him under control. But we know you violent because you always hopping up in somebody's face. And if you feel froggy enough to hop up in a man's face that sometimes had a good foot over you and a solid 100 pounds, I know you jumping in another female face like you bad. I know you doing that. So you're violent when you don't get your way. This is not about abuses. This is not about somebody did something to you and you just had to escape, or you just had to defend yourself. No, you're violent when you want to be, because you're not getting your way. She said something you didn't like. She did something you didn't like. Blah, blah, blah. You cheat too much. It's always the men cheating. They cheating. You cheat just as much or more. And when it's convenient for you, you'll brag about it. We cheat more than men, and we cheat better than men. You'll brag about it. So then you'll say, well, the women cheating because it's revenge cheating because the men do all the cheating. Okay, so again, a relationship where there are no men shouldn't have that problem, especially to a high degree. But women like to cheat. You use your attention or lack thereof as a weapon in relationships. She talked about being ghosted when things was going well. You complain about that from the men. The men complain about that from you. Where's she go? What's she doing? Or using your attention, I don't answer the text. Or, don't seem like you're too thirsty. Don't answer the phone calls and all that foolishness that you think make you look cute when you dating. And it just is a red flag and make other people not take you seriously. But you do it. This woman is throwing in the towel at 29. That's not old. She can't even deal with you. And that's not the first time I've heard an L word say that. Talk about how difficult you are in relationships. They almost ought to be honorary members around here, because they going through the same thing the men going through, because you're the common denominator. Your behavior. You're emotionally too unstable. You project your insecurities onto other people, so you're insecure and you're emotionally unstable, and you study in and out of these relationships like you know what you're doing. You're cruel and you're spiteful for little to no reason. These is the hoity-toity, sedity ones. I've watched you be mean for no reason, cuss folk out for no reason, slam doors in folks' faces, and just rude. You don't even got good etiquette. You don't even have manners anymore. Let alone talk about submission and knowing your place as a woman. You don't even have manners. You play mind games to supposedly test the loyalty of people, the S test, and all that kind of stuff, trying to test loyalty instead of being a stand-up, authentic person that inspires loyalty from others. You string people along for your own selfish gains, and you don't care how other people lives are affected by the decisions that you make, so long as you doing you. Just like she said, she paid all that money. You know how much money it costs to have been talking to somebody and feeling like you got a solid relationship? Maybe you've been FaceTiming and this and that. You done did your background checks. You done did all of the legal stuff, the paperwork stuff. You say, okay, I'm going to move forward with that. You wait till that woman spent all her money, made that whole time-consuming immigration from one country to another, only to get there and you finally have to drop down and come clean about the fact that you had another woman all along. You dirty dog. But the men are the problem. Toxic masculinity is the problem. Patriarchy is the problem. Maleness is a problem. Just men in general are a problem. So why are y'all having problems? Why do you have these issues with other Black women? It should be blissful. Every kind of relationship, not just romantic relationships, but friendships should be heaven on earth. Mother-daughter relationships should be heaven on earth. Every kind of interaction and relationship between women should be awesome, because y'all awesome, right? So when are you going to take responsibility for what you do? You want other people to be held responsible. You want men to be held responsible. Okay, so when are you going to be held responsible? And if you're not going to be held responsible, if you refuse to be held responsible for anything that you do, the rest of us who want to move the Black community forward, the least that we demand of you is to keep your toxicity to yourself and don't infect other people with your delusions and your entitlement. That's what we saying. So sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.